viewers, you're welcome once again to the program Prime Eye Half Hour. I'm your host, Eniayeye, and with me I have Dr. Nana Aishat Momo, a consultant ophthalmologist from Ira Teaching Hospital. You're very welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
So yes, we talked about this last week. What exactly is cataract? How does it appear for those viewers who weren't here with us last week?
Okay. Cataract is actually a white thing at the middle of the eye, at the center of the eye. When you look at everybody's eye, it's black, it's brown, it's dark. But when you see a big white thing behind the black one, that's a cataract. Yes. It's actually congenital cataract is actually very important because we still talk about it that children are actually born with this cataract. And when the parents see them like this, they either shy away or they don't want people to know about it. Yes, this has a solution. This can easily be remedied. But if it's left there and lights cannot pass through that cataract, you know cataract is an opaque, according to last week's presentation, cataract is an opaque opacity of the lens, and lights cannot pass through that opacity to get to the back of the eye. Means that the child cannot see anything, and there will be nothing to stimulate the brain to grow. And that part of the brain that is meant for vision will not grow. And no matter what you do after, the brain will not grow. No matter all the medication and the surgery you do, the brain is not growing, and so the child will not see. So the child's cataract is simple. You just take the child to the doctor. They just do a simple surgery, remove the white part, and then probably put a lens inside the eye, depending on the age of the child, and rehabilitate the child with good glasses or contact lens. The child can now see, and the brain will now stimulate. The eye will stimulate the brain to grow, and subsequently the child will be able to see. But if that surgery is not done, or you're waiting till the child is old enough to do surgery, you then find out that by the time you do the surgery, the brain is not stimulated. There will be nothing there for you to stimulate, and there will be no growth, and then there will be no vision in that child.
So this goes back to what we talked about a certain age in which blindness cannot be reversed. So even when the disease is treated, like in this case cataract, if it's treated too late, although the white substance covering the front of the eye has been removed, the brain has not been taught to be stimulated so that the child can see. So when the disease has been removed, the child will still not be able to see, and the child will still be blind. So that's very interesting.
Thank you very much. Okay. Then the other disease I was talking about was congenital glaucoma. Congenital glaucoma, what's glaucoma? Glaucoma simply means increased pressure in the eye. That means the water the eye is producing is more than the water the eye is taking out. The eye produces water constantly. But God has made it so perfectly that the amount that goes in goes out. So at a particular point in time, the proportion in and out is equal. But the congenital glaucoma, you find that the water that is being produced is not taking off as much as it is being produced. So the water accumulates and the eye gets bigger. So children that are born with congenital glaucoma, they actually have big black eyes. Sometimes the parents say that they are big beautiful eyes. No, it's not all big beautiful eyes that have glaucoma. Sorry, don't quote me. It's not all big beautiful eyes that have glaucoma. But when the child has congenital glaucoma and the eye is big, and when you shine light or the child is where there is light, you see the child trying to cover the eyes, cannot look into the lights. The eye is always tearing, the eye is always red. The child covers the eye for any sight of light at all. The child is covering the eye. Please know that that child's eye are not very normal. You should see a doctor. The doctor will be able to detect, do all the tests as required to detect whether the child has congenital glaucoma or not. And congenital glaucoma is not treatable per se, but it's not curable per se, but we can control it. We can actually give drugs or do surgery for this child, and that pressure, that water that is coming in and not going out completely is taken care of, and the eye will still see and be normal. But if you leave this child at home and nothing is done, the eye will get bigger and bigger, and sometimes the eye will never see again no matter what you have done. The eye sometimes can even rupture. The eye can even rupture, and when an eye is ruptured, you know eye does not have a spare. That's the only part of the body that you cannot replace. Once the optic nerve of the eye is gone, it's gone, and there's nothing you can do about it.
So far we've talked about vitamin A deficiency in the eye, conjunctivitis in the eye, glaucoma in the eye, and even cataract. So now we are going to move on. So doctor, what other diseases do we have?
Yeah. Thank you very much. The other diseases that's common and that's really very common right now is retinoblastoma. Retinoblastoma is actually a cancer of the eye in children. This cancer of the eye occurs only in children that are less than 6 years old. It can occur as early as a day-old baby. It can occur as late as 6 years, 7 years old. It's more common with boys than with girls. It's very, very available. It's in this country. It's not a disease of white people anymore. In those days, it used to be a disease of the whites, but now it's common, and there's no known cause for this retinoblastoma, and you know that there's no known cause for cancer. And when you say cancer, it's deadly. It can kill the child. Apart from taking the sight away, it can actually lead to death of this child. How do you know and how do you recognize that this child, a patient, has retinoblastoma? Retinoblastoma, like the cataract, is actually also a white reflex at the back of the eye, in between the black parts of the eye. But the difference between this white reflex and cataract is when you shine light into the eyes of a cat, you actually see a reflex. When the light shines, when the headlight of a car shines on a cat or a dog, you actually see a reflex. That's how this retinoblastoma is, and that's why it is called cat eye reflex. You actually see mothers, they tell you that when this light shines into this child's eye, I don't like the way the light reflects back at me. Yes, that's what makes it different from a cataract. A cataract is just a white thing. Even if you shine light into it, it doesn't reflect light back. But that retinoblastoma will reflect real serious light. That's something that should attract your attention. It's not something that's quiet, and it's deadly, as I said before, and it's something that you should act fast. It has a cure. If you present early, if the child presents early, you actually can do surgery and give drugs, chemotherapy to this child, and the child will be saved. Right now, in the developed world, we are not talking about saving just the life of the child. We are now talking about saving vision, treating this eye until this eye that has a cancer, that has a tumor that has been written off, is seen again. And I think it's because they detect it early and they present early. So when we have things like when we see a child that has this kind of reflex, this cat eye reflex in the eye, I think we should refer and see an ophthalmologist as early as possible so that the child can get good sight again.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. So now that we've learned about this, which is very interesting about the reflex. When you say reflect, the touchlight reflects back, what exactly do you mean? Do you mean the light will shine back at you?
Yes. If you take a light and shine it into the dog's eye or the cat eye, you actually see a glow back at you. A glow, the lights that shine into the eye will reflect back at you. It's not normal in human being. By the time you start seeing this in a child's eye, it's something that should worry you. That glow that comes back to you with a big flash, it's within seconds, you actually see it. And when you see it, mothers that have been presenting, they actually get worried because it's scary. It's really scary. So it's not something that you see and you will not recognize it. You will recognize it when you see it.
Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, so what other diseases do we have?
Refractive error is another disease of children that can actually cause blindness or reduce vision or impaired vision. Refractive error simply means that the eye is either too small or is too big. That the images that the child is seeing is not focused at the appropriate place that the child is supposed to see for the brain to actually recognize it and tell the child this is what he's seeing. It is nothing bad. It just simply means that the child requires glasses to help to either move the image from front of the retina where it's supposed to be to where it's on the retina, or from behind the retina where it is to the retina. All you need to do is do a simple glasses test and then give the child glasses. But some parents come to tell you that their child is too small to wear glasses, and glasses can be worn for a child that is born today, as small as a day-old child to as old as any child can wear glasses. So parents should not see their children wearing, doctors telling them that their children are going to wear glasses and see it as a problem. It's even a saying that if you wear glasses, you're going to become a professor. I think you want your child to become a professor when they wear glasses. So you should not run away from wearing glasses. You should allow your child to wear glasses to allow them develop properly and their eyes will see if they wear glasses. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor. Now that we've heard all about that, there's actually a disease I'd like to refer to. It's a squint, and some people will refer to it as the half past 4 eye. What exactly is this?
Half past 4 eye. So some people call it half past 1 eye, some people call it wobbling eyes. Yeah. It simply means that the muscles of the eyes are not well developed. When the person is looking at you, but the eyes is turned somewhere else, it's looking straight at you, but the eyes are looking somewhere else. Yes, it's actually called a squint or strabismus. It's simply, as I said before, the muscles of the eyes are not properly formed, or they have a problem. It is not a problem. The major problem with the squint is that the eye is not seen. That's why the eye is turned away. If the eye is seen properly, the eyes will not be turned away. And if you now detect that the eye is not seen because the muscle was not well formed, it's a simple thing. You just do surgery on the muscle and reset the muscle, and the eyes will be straight again, and the eye will be seen. You can also use glasses to correct this squint that we're talking about, or these half past 4 eyes. That you put on glasses. Glasses helps the image that the patient is looking at, that making the eye deviate, to come to view, and then the patient will start seeing. And when the glasses are on, the eyes are actually straight. It's a simple surgery. You don't go into the eyes, you don't open inside the eye, you just move the muscles that move the eye from side to side to the right place by specific measurements, and then the eyes will be straight again. It's not a bad thing. It's something that can be remedied.
Okay. So basically you mean that it's an optional surgery. It's not threatening to the eye in any way.
No, it's not threatening. But cosmetically, for girls, cosmetically it's very, very advisable. And also, that eye that is not seen, that is deviating, if you leave it like that, and the child grows up and now wants to have the eye straightened, even when you have the eye straightened and the eye is not seen again at that time, the eye will still go back to that position after some time. So, apart from cosmetics, making the girl child or the child looking more presentable, it's also very good to do it early, so that the eye can actually pick up fixation and actually see, and then get used to seeing and get used to being straight. And also, any child that has squint, they have a low self-esteem. They are not happy. From studies have even shown that they can't even get a job that they want to do. They can't even become pilots. They can't become doctors. They can't do binocular things that require their 2 eyes. They can't even become painters, because painting requires perception of depth. You want to see the 3D image. Those kind of eyes cannot do that kind of job. So why leave your child to have the eyes like this when you can get a deformity that can be easily managed?
That's very interesting. Okay, so that means that if you have a squint, you actually cannot see properly. You can't focus.
Yes, you can't. The image you're seeing is not clear. That's why the eye is deviating.
That's very interesting, because I know a few people who have that. Okay, so does that mean that when the child grows up to a stage like above 18, that cannot be corrected anymore?
As I've said earlier, it can be corrected, it will be straight, but it will not remain, because by then the eye is not seeing clearly. The eye is still not seeing clearly. And you need a good vision to keep the eye straight. If the eye is not seeing, it's like if you're not using yourself, you become lazy. So the eye becomes a lazy eye, so it goes to rest. The eye goes to rest. So the eye goes to that position of rest. I'm not saying it just drifts off and it's not part of your body. That's what it means. But if the eye is seen and is seeing clearly, it keeps the eye straight, and vision is needed to keep the eye straight.
Okay, thank you. So can you enlighten us a bit more? What other diseases are there? This has been very interesting.
Yes. Another disease that is also common now is retinopathy of prematurity. What does this mean? Retinopathy of prematurity is now very common in Nigeria, because you see preterm babies are surviving very well in Nigeria. We have a preterm old baby that is less than 1.5 kg. That's a 1 kg child, a 1,000 gram child has survived in this country. And these children, when they are born and they are small and they are preterm, you need to assist them in breathing. You need to give them oxygen. This oxygen that you actually give to these children, if not titrated properly, it's not good. It can actually help to cause problems in the eyes more than helping the child to grow, because growth, we said, continues after birth.
Yes.
Normally the eye grows till after 1 year of life. But if you give oxygen, too much of oxygen to these preterm babies, it stops the eyes from growing. the eye will now tend to be producing blood vessels in the eye that are abnormal. And these abnormal blood vessels at the back of the eye, because of excess oxygen that was given to this child when the child was in the incubator, now causes a problem to the back of the eye that can even lead to retinal detachment in this child, and it can actually cause blindness for these children. So retinopathy of prematurity is a stage. It's not a one thing. It's not a one stage. It's not a one stage thing. There are about 5 different stages, but it's as a result of excess oxygen. First of all, the risk factors are low birth weight, premature children, excess oxygen at birth. The eye forgets to now breathe on its own. It relies on the artificial oxygen that is given, and by the time the oxygen is being stopped, the problem at the back of the eye is already there, and before you detect it, the child cannot see and the child is blind.
But how can that be corrected? Can that be corrected through surgery?
Correction, yes, can be corrected through surgery, but wow, it's a difficult surgery. It's really a difficult surgery. It's done by the retinal surgeons.
So we have to be very careful about that.
Another important eye disease that is very common is eye injury. I kept this eye injury for the last because injury happens every day, everywhere, at home, in school, on the streets, and unsupervised play too is not good. So when your child is playing, and there's a rule in my house: if you must play, please don't play holding a pen, don't play holding a pencil, don't play holding a broomstick, don't shoot rubber band into eyes, and don't use sticks to beat a child. And if you must beat, they said spare the rod and spoil the child. I don't say you shouldn't beat your child, but if you must beat your child below the belt. I tell the teachers in my children's school, I'm not telling you not to beat my child, but if you want to flog a child below the belt. When I mean below the belt, don't flog a child angrily all over the body and on the face. You can easily flog the child's eye. And if a child is playing and is holding a sharp object, you simply tell the child to stop, throw it away, and not, because injuries to the eye in children is a total write-off. There's no cure to it. There's no cure to it. Always end up being a blind eye. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. It has been very informative. So now that we have heard all about this, why don't we go to the public view and see what the public have to say about these diseases? See you very soon. Thank you.
My name is Justina Oame. I'm here on the streets to ask the general public what they know about diabetics. Can you tell the public what you know about children's eye problem?
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Children eye problem, it's a problem that comes with children as regards the eyes. And some of the causes we know are usually from from pregnant mothers who during pregnancy have one form of urinary tract infection like the itchings, but as a result, when they now have these babies, the babies tend to present with discharges, red eyes, and some others. And some other conditions we also have are those ones that we call short-sightedness and far-sightedness, in which case, when a child is in the